So for this question, it's asking you to recreate the scenario of renting a carpet cleaner for $52 on one day and 26 for every additional day. Now the trick here is it's saying where d is a positive integer. And what you need to know is that 0 is not a positive integer. So you say, okay, if you didn't know that information, you might be thinking the answer is B, because on the 0th day, the first day you get it, it's just $52 because it's saying for every additional day. So for one additional day, it's an extra $26. For 2 additional days, for 3 additional days. But since it's saying d has to be a positive integer, you have to account for that 0 is not part of the equation. D has to start at 1, which means that the real answer is A. And that's because if you plug d is equal to 1 here, then you end up with 26 times 1 plus 26, which is equal to 52. And on the second day, you add an additional 26 by multiplying by 2. And on the third day, an additional 26 because you multiply by 3. So for this question, it's saying that you need to find the perimeter of some triangle that is baked inside of some circle. And usually when you see circles and triangles, you probably think a special triangle, and it doesn't help that they have these radicals here. But if you read the question carefully, it's saying that points Q and R lie somewhere on the circle, where P being the center. And since it tells you the radius is 9, you know that any point from the center to the edge of the circle, anywhere, is the radius. So you know that this is 9, and you know that this is 9. And so you connect these here, that is your triangle. But it tells you the perimeter is 31. So all you have to do is just do 31 is equal to 9 plus 9 plus the length of side QR. There's no need to split this up into a special triangle and do all these angles. So this is just trying to psych you out. That being said, the answer is B. And so for this question, you're probably tempted to plug this into Desmos and seeing what they are. But the x-intercept is anywhere on your xy graph where y is equal to 0. Here, 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 anywhere along your graph. But so, since y has to equal 0, if you could plug anything into any of these to give you 0, then that is your x-coordinate. So with that being said, 0 times anything is 0. So that means you have multiple answers. This could be 14, this could be -5, and this could be -4. And for this question, they want you to know that sines and cosines are equivalent if they're complementary to one another. Meaning that if you have sine of something and then cosine of something else, if these insides, x plus y, is equal to 90, they're equivalent. So that means sine of 24 is equal to cosine of 66. So you can just substitute those in. So you have cosine of 66 and cosine of 66, so that gives you some type of squaring, so that is C or D. And then you know that these are equivalent as well. So the answer is just C. So for this question, it's asking you to find the equation given a special circumstance, where if you plug in 0 to any of these answer choices, the coefficient, being what is the value at the beginning of each equation, is equal to the answer if you plug in 0 into that equation. And what you need to know is that anything raised to the 0th power is just 1. So which of these equations can you just plug in 0 for x and spit out the same number that's at the front? And well, that only has to be B, because 1.5 to the 0th power is 1, and so 33 is the only answer, and so f of 0, 33 is its own coefficient. So that's how you would do questions like these.